You claim to be traditional, but then refuse to get married.
Hold on.
Silly.
Actually, I don't really make that claim ever. I don't think I've ever said.
You just were talking
I'm
about traditional roles.
So I
Husband
believe,
and wife.
So I believe that when we're talking about traditional, that this word gets used in other ways, but I believe it's a spectrum. That might sound stupid or whatever, but I think most people are not fully going to. I don't think it's like you either are or you aren't. I think there's some degree of a spectrum to being traditional. In this case, I think I lean more towards traditional in some degrees, but as it relates to marriage, you're right. I'm not traditional on that front.
So you're not religious?
Why?
No, I'm agnostic. Although I'm pro-Christianity.
But if you find the girl you really love and she wants to get married,
And?
you still don't want to get married.
No.
Not even
Why?
for the perfect girl.
Right. Because I'm a girl that really wants like the.
People are imperfect though.
But why?
Why what?
Why do you not want to
Why
get
do you
married?
not want to get married?
Oh yeah, sure. So there's a whole bunch of reasons. I think that
I used to be like that.
so. Marriage, in the breakdown, the instance of a breakdown of a marriage when you're getting divorced, the state, the government becomes involved. I'm not a big fan of the government meddling and trifling in the private relationship affairs of people. So the government says, well, you know what? You've been with this woman for this long and you make this much money. She makes this much money. You need to pay her while she's fucking other men. You need to pay her $10,000 a month for the next 5 years. Fuck that. No government is going to tell me I owe a woman who's no longer fucking me money. Fuck that shit. You think but the government's going to tell me
It's crazy.
to pay spousal support, to pay alimony to a woman who isn't fucking me
But
and is fucking another guy? Fuck out of here
I
with
agree
that
with that.
fucking
Well,
bullshit.
yes.
For-
That's
not
some
even for
fucking
kids?
bullshit.
can you
even
not
for
do
kids?
that if you have a prenup?
I just want to tell you.
Prenups get challenged. Prenups, look, I'm not a lawyer. Prenups do get challenged. I think prenups can't always be protective. I'm not sure exactly if it can completely. I don't know if prenups can fully. I don't know. What
They
the right word
protect
is.
everything
Stop that,
prior to your union.
Yeah, I don't know if you can just like in a prenup, can you actually say no? Even if we've been dating for 10 years, I don't have to pay you alimony. I don't know if that's a thing you can do in a prenup. I think it's the assets you had prior to the marriage can be protected. Anything generated during it, I don't think can really be addressed. I don't think a prenup can supersede state law. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. In any case, divorce is fucking terrible for the breadwinner, whether you're the woman or the man, but probably a bit worse for the men. So yeah, there's that.
I understand that because Dr. Phil said, well, actually, he said, you don't divorce the same person that you marry. And I thought that was like really smart. But let's say, can you get married in a church without getting married like for the government?
And there wouldn't be any ramifications legally. Sure, I don't care.
So
Then you would do it.
Although I do think like blowing like tens of thousands of dollars on a marriage is kind of stupid. So
It doesn't have to be.
No, my wedding
Yeah,
cost
sure.
$4,000. So
I mean, still for 4,000 for
For a girl that you love, that who's
4,000
been-
for you. That's a lot of money.
what?
That's a lot of money.
It was. I
Come
spent
on.
a lot of.
That's a lot of money.
that's
But
nothing
it's a
It
celebration.
was at the time. I wouldn't say.
That's nothing for a marriage.
for a wedding. For a wedding,
You
$4
should do it
grand.
once
I've
in
never
your
heard of
life.
anything like that. I used
get
to work
that, but are you guys paycheck to paycheck?
Yes.
That $4,000 is a fuck ton of money
a
for
lot of
paycheck
money.
to paycheck.
And back then, we made nothing. But
Where do you live again?
upstate New York,
How much do you pay in rent per month?
I have a mortgage, and
How much do you pay for the mortgage?
including escrowed
month.
in, is $1,000. So that's really great.
That's
actually.
4 months
Yeah.
of her mortgage payment. Down the drain. Here's my backyard. Here's my backyard. Stand, motherfuckers.
But for a lot of girls, it's like
I agree.
Oh, look! Wait!
No,
The
I
girl
agree.
who doesn't. Whoa! Did you guys catch that? Hold on.
The girl that doesn't what?
The girl who doesn't care about money just said $4,000 isn't a lot of money.
No, not for a wedding.
How much would you want your
$4,000?
engagement ring to be?
We did have
For
over
somebody who's paycheck to paycheck, 4,000, and that's a lot of people in the United States, is a lot of money.
we had over 100 people too.
Wow.
So it was like probably the food, but it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun.
All I'm saying is I used to work in a banquets. I used to work at a hotel, and the weddings were upwards of $100,000. So when I think 4,000,
Yeah,
and I've been to a lot of weddings that
Congrats,
are
you're at the
expensive.
Ritz-Carlton or
That's
whatever. I
true.
don't
Weddings
fucking
are
know.
expensive,
They're
but
very
it's a waste
expensive.
of money.
It
It's
is.
a waste of
It
money.
is.
No,
It's a huge waste of
It's
money.
a
waste
little
of
girl's
money.
dream.
Yeah.
And
My-
you have to have
One of my
a
best
crazy
friends just
wedding.
got married, and she.
Grandma can sit on the fucking grass.
No.
Grandma can sit on the grass.
I am so frugal. No. When I am very, very frugal, so I agree, and I would never spend over 20 grand on one day of my life ever. But I will tell you, I mean, it's not a lot if you spend
Okay,
15
so
grand.
back to your question. You were saying, oh, Brian, you don't want to get married. Why? I don't think you should sign a contract that sucks. I don't think you should sign a contract where somebody is rewarded for breaking it. Women, when they do break the marriage contract, when they do initiate divorces, by the way, 80% of divorces are initiated by women.
I don't
Women
like
are
that. Yeah.
rewarded for this. So,
You mean if? You're saying when? Like it's inevitable.
well, no. When I say when, I mean when it happens, when it can happen, when it does happen.
If it
I
happens.
think like over 50%
okay,
of people
whatever.
get divorced.
I know.
I mean,
it's sad. It's horrible. No, I used to be like you when I was a little younger. I hated marriage and I thought it was a scam, and it is kind of a scam. But I was going to tell you that alimony is still paid when you have children with somebody, regardless of marriage. So and I was going to ask you, you wouldn't want to pay your spouse alimony for the children? Or child
hold
support,
on.
I
Child
guess.
support's different. Child support, I think there are compelling arguments for child support, although I think that in many jurisdictions, like if you're a high earner as a guy, that child support, like the money as it relates to child support is not being paid for not being spent on child support. So I think, in the same way with SNAP benefits, food benefits, you can you take your SNAP card or whatever to a grocery store, you can't buy, I don't know, if you take it to a CVS, you can buy, I know you probably shouldn't shop for food at CVS, but you can go to CVS and buy like cookies with your SNAP thing. Sure, there's a debate over whether people should be, whatever. But you can't like go and buy, I don't know, what, crutches or some shit. Or I don't know what, you can't buy like,
what you think of?
I don't know, maybe they sell, maybe they sell like a pull-out chair at CVS. You can't buy a pull-out chair with your food benefits. There should be something like that with child support. They can only spend the money on something that's child support related. Probably a little more complicated than food, but I do think that there's some abuses of the child support system. I think that there should be caps. So if you're a high earner, you shouldn't be paying $10,000, $20,000 in child support. That's ridiculous. Alimony, get the fuck out of here. It's 2025. Women have full access to the workforce. Women can work. No, maybe there's an argument that can be made. It should be proven though that, like, if you're a guy who makes $5 million a year, and your wife has a college degree, she can probably enter the workforce within a reasonable period of time. Maybe there's some argument, okay, you've been married to her for 20 years and she didn't work at all and she dropped out of college to have kids with you. Okay, you can support her for a period of time. I'm willing to make some compromise. 3 years max.
It should be circumstantial.
3 years
Substantial,
max.
for sure. I agree.
But you've been married. I think in most jurisdictions, you've been married for 20 years. That's lifetime alimony.
Yeah, I know. My mom
That's
got it.
lifetime
My mom
alimony.
was married for 20 years, and now for the last 20 years, my dad's been paying her.
Yeah.
And
it's kinda
I
shitty.
have been telling him to go
to
court.
do what?
Well,
What can he do?
There,
He's being forced.
yeah. I mean,
Okay, that's bad.
there
I
are
get
some
it.
things
I don't
he
think
could
we
do,
have it.
but yeah.
Those that you have to pay.
Well, in some European countries, they're not nearly as retarded as the U.S. is when it comes to child
California.
support. Yeah, California's fucked. Child support, alimony, all this shit.
But I still think divorcing is too easy.
I
in
agree.
many ways.
I agree.
But I don't know. Look, I think I don't think you mentioned prenups. I don't think a prenup is going to save a man if the woman is motivated enough. Women will, even if the woman has good intentions, you step into a lawyer's office. Lawyers see money.
Yep.
They just care about money. They want to
Succubus.
make, and I don't know how it works. Maybe the lawyers get some sort of percentage of the settlement from the divorce, whatever. And they want to keep it in court. They want the billable hours. So you could be a dutiful Christian woman. You step foot in that lawyer's office.
They will turn everything.
The lawyer, he's not
Will be a shackle.
approaching things. Yeah, he's gonna get as much as he possibly can for his client. In fact, I think he has some legal obligation to represent his client to the best of his ability and get the best possible outcome, money, for his client.
Yeah, that's wrong.
I think he has a legal duty to do this. Yet you need to do your best effort or whatever as an attorney. You can't just be like, no, we should do it. I mean, obviously your client has final say, but lawyers are very convincing. Lawyers, that's their whole job, to argue.
So what
Lawyers-
would be your chess move if you will find a girl, you're together like
Never get married.
8 years and she wants to get married? What will you do?
I mean-
sit down and have something else on the table?
Don't get it twisted. I can stay with a woman for my entire life and take care of her, and we can have kids. But marriage is
just-
out of the picture.
But still,
Marriage is a
Because you're
no-go.
afraid of divorce.
It's not
get
that I'm
it.
For
afraid.
fear of divorce. That is the only reason that you gave us.
Hold on. Hold on. I don't
I
understand.
get it, but
I'm afraid.
But like, do you
Should I
get
just grant
engaged?
this?
Do you go to the church and have
the only reason
something? Do
that
you
you
have a
have-
wedding? What are you bringing to the table on that point for her not to lose the dream of it?
So I don't really gamble. Does that make me like I'm afraid? Am I afraid to lose money because I don't gamble?
Yes, because you're doing a smart move.
Or is it not about fear? Is it about looking at the chessboard, or I guess I don't know, whatever blackjack or poker or whatever, looking at it and being like, this isn't a good bet to make.
It's a warranted fear, but it is a fear of divorce.
Okay, sure, I'll grant it. So, okay, cool. I'm scared of being divorced. Oh no.
Well, that's why you aren't going to join in the union.
Men should rightfully have some reservations and some concerns.
Yeah, be more
as it-
discerning of who they're getting with. That's really the
Yeah,
problem.
but
Well,
like-
it's not just that.
You
Holy shit.
divorce
Oh my
a
God,
different person
what
that
the
you marry.
fuck?
Mostly it's true.
Do you think most people by the way, divorce rate is what, 80% or some shit? I don't know. Or 50%, sorry, 50%. Do you think most people on their wedding day think, I'm going to divorce this person? I'm going to be divorced?
No.
Okay, 50% of marriages end in divorce.
I
So discernment.
mean, if a
seems like
girl is
things
bowing for you
change.
and doing those things for you, maybe you
Doesn't
shouldn't
mean-
break
it
up
doesn't
with
mean
her.
that- Well, break up with her if things are going well, sure, but
But if she wants
I'm
the
not gonna
marriage,
give-
she wants the
Yeah.
wedding, are you going to like come to the middle of that and offer like to have the wedding or getting engaged or
Not-
going to the church, but not just
there could be
getting
some,
married?
There could be some
Legally.
compromise. There could be a compromise where it's like just like, I don't know, she wants to do the ceremony so long as there's nothing legally binding there. I guess I'm okay with the ceremony. I still think it's a bit of a waste of money, depending on how much you spend. If it's a reasonable affair, I suppose I'd be open to it. But I'd be curious if there's any legal liability to even doing the ceremony. I don't know. I don't know. If there's not, if we grant that there's no legal liability whatsoever, just doing the ceremony, sure. I suppose I'm okay with it. I'm not going to spend $100,000 on the wedding, though. Fuck that.
Yep.
I'll spend, what I'd think is a reasonable amount. But I'm not, no, that money can be better spent elsewhere.
Doesn't the government in the United States deem you like legally married after 8 years or 7 years of
There's common law
Filing?
marriage, but it depends on the state.
Yeah, in New York, they don't have it.
In California, I don't believe there's common law marriage.
really?
Yeah, so it's basically you've been living together. You
Yeah,
guys have been
and filing
maybe
together.
portraying yourself as married, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Then some weird, funky common law marriage shit. That's stupid too. Fuck that shit. That should be abolished. Fuck common law marriage. That should only be a thing if, hey, we're agreeing to get married.
You get a tax break for all of
I
that.
don't give a fuck. Divorce, the risk reward is all fucked up.
Only
And
if you're
women-
dating somebody who's going to take you
Remember
for.
at the very beginning of the show, well, it took us a long time. Going around the table, starting with you, Maria. How many relationships have you been in?
About 4 or 5.
Of the 4 or 5, how many of them did you initiate the breakup?
I think all 5.
All 5? How many relationships have you been in?
3.
3? How many of those did you end?
2.
2 of the 3. How many relationships have you been in?
2.
How many of those did you end?
None.
They broke up with you? Okay. How many relationships have you been in?
Like the real, like a
Into the
boyfriend.
mic.
Sorry, a boyfriend. Right? Not just dating.
6 months plus.
Okay. I guess 1 out of 2.
1 out of 2. Okay. Well,
2 relationships.
did you end them?
Well, one I'm still in, and the first one, no.
Of the ones you ended. Okay. What about you?
5 people, and 3 of them broke up with me. So I
Okay.
ended with 2.
And then, well,
Yeah, 0.
Women overwhelmingly end relationships. Women overwhelmingly initiate divorces.
But I think
It's a bad deal for men. It's a bad deal for men.
I agree.
I agree.
like, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like in a relationship, a guy doesn't kind of see or realize when things are going to shit before the relationship has ended. Like, before everything around him will change in his head, even though you go home and you argue every day, you're still in the relationship and nothing is kind of changed. But a girl goes through the breakup for months before she decides to leave.
Well,
The
I
men
guess
are
that's a failure
oblivious.
of communication, perhaps on both their parts. But so women, I mean, okay. Women initiate the majority of divorces.